Hey guys, how are you? Amidst the incessant search for increasingly realistic graphics, pixel art games remain a beacon of creativity and style. Far from being a limitation, this aesthetic has been the birthplace of unique visual experiences and engaging narratives. That's why today I bring 10 new incredible pixel art games. I'm Matthew, and we're starting the list with Discounty, a highly anticipated indie simulation and management game developed by Crinkle Cut Games and published by PQB. Set in the fictional town of Blomkest, the game puts players in the role of a manager of a small convenience store, with the goal of transforming it into a thriving local market. The gameplay combines elements of business simulation, resource management, and social interactions, drawing inspiration from titles like Stardew Valley. In addition, Discounty presents an engaging narrative that explores themes of community, corporate competition, and personal growth, as players deal with challenges such as rivalry with a megacorporation and the revitalization of the city. Discounty's graphics are a highlight, utilizing a vibrant and detailed pixel art style that evokes nostalgia for classic 90s games, while incorporating modern animation techniques. Each scenario, from the player's store to the streets of Blomkest, is carefully designed with colorful pixels that create a welcoming and charming aesthetic. The character sprites are expressive, with fluid animations that convey personality, whether in the movement of the townspeople or in the interactions within the store.
No, it's never, ever gonna happen. I don't think so.
Grave Seasons is a game that has been attracting attention. It presents itself as a dating simulator with a touch of terror, and one of the aspects that stands out the most is its pixel art. This visual choice is not just an aesthetic, but a decision that shapes the atmosphere of the game. Pixel art, with its distinct characteristics, is fundamental to the experience that Grave Seasons seeks to deliver. Despite its apparent simplicity, the pixel art in Grave Seasons is quite detailed and functional. It manages to convey the emotions of the characters in the game's scenarios effectively, even with the limitation of pixels. The environments, which range from more welcoming locations to darker and more macabre scenarios, are carefully constructed to reinforce the contrast between the dating simulation part and the horror elements. The color palette and character design are created to generate a sense of mystery and apprehension without compromising visual clarity. Technically, the pixel art of Grave Seasons contributes to immersion. The way details are represented even in blocks of pixels allows the player to fill in the gaps with their imagination, which can intensify the feeling of suspense. The animation of the characters, despite being limited by the nature of pixel art, is fluid enough to express their reactions and movements. This is crucial for a game that is based on social interactions and decisions that can lead to unexpected outcomes. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a new chapter in the iconic Ninja Gaiden franchise, developed by the Game Kitchen and published by Dotemu, with a digital release scheduled for July 31st, 2025, for PC and consoles, in addition to physical editions for PS5 and Switch on September 12th. The game returns to the two roots of the series, drawing inspiration from the classic Nintendo trilogy, but with a modern approach that combines frantic action, refined mechanics, and high-quality pixel art aesthetics. The pixel art graphics of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound are one of the pillars of the game, designed to honor the aesthetics of the original 8-bit trilogy while raising the standard with modern techniques. The Game Kitchen, known for their work on Blasphemous, opted for an approach inspired by 16 and 32-bit games, creating vibrant visuals that hark back to the 1990s era, with influences from seinen anime of the time. Jesus Nurkin Campos, art director, highlights the challenge of working with the color and resolution limitations of pixel art, using carefully selected palettes, detailed textures, and parallax effects to give depth and vitality to the scenarios. Each environment, such as Hayabusa Village or urban scenarios under construction, is meticulously designed to convey the dark and intense atmosphere of the series, maintaining the fluidity necessary for the fast and precise action that defines Ninja Gaiden. Eclipsium is a first-person adventure and psychological horror game that is generating great expectation in the indie scene, with a release scheduled for 2025 on Steam for PC, although an exact date has not yet been confirmed. Developed by a team focused on creating immersive experiences, the title promises to take players on a surreal journey through Lovecraftian and non-Euclidean environments, where the loss of the notion of time and space is a central element of the narrative. The narrative involves mystery, cosmic horror, and a retro aesthetic that resonates with fans of games like Amnesia and Bloodborne, but with a unique approach that combines psychological and stylized visual elements. The pixel art graphics of Eclipsium are one of the highlights of the game, using the retro aesthetic masterfully to create a visual experience that is both nostalgic and innovative. Inspired by the pixel art of the 80s and 90s, the scenarios are meticulously drawn with visible pixels, evoking the feeling of classic games, but with a modern sophistication that elevates the visual quality. The color palette is predominantly dark, with shades of blue, purple, and dark red that reinforce the atmosphere of psychological and Lovecraftian horror, while the details of the environments, such as textures of corroded walls, dynamic shadows, and lighting effects, create a surprising immersion for a graphic style that, at first glance, may seem simple. The game Whisper Mountain Outbreak, scheduled for release on August 11, 2025, is presented as an isometric cooperative survival horror experience. The setting is 1998 on Mount Bisik, where a mining operation unearthed an ancient curse. A mysterious fog covered the mountain, and the inhabitants began to hear whispers and see terrifying creatures. Players, alone or in teams of up to 4 people, need to explore, fight, find clues, and solve puzzles to escape the cursed location. The visual aspect of the game is one of its most distinctive technical points, utilizing a 2.5D pixel art aesthetic. This means that the characters and some elements are rendered in 2D with a pixelated style, while the environments are built in low-resolution 3D. This combination aims to create an atmosphere that harkens back to horror classics, while offering a visual presentation that adapts to contemporary audiences. The choice of pixel art contributes to a sense of claustrophobia and disorientation, with the limited field of vision and the constant presence of fog and darkness. The way this art direction is applied in the gameplay aims to reinforce the horror experience. The visuals contribute to the tension by creating dark and decrepit corridors where what lurks in the shadows is not always immediately visible. Duel Corp is an ambitious action RPG inspired by the Soul series that promises to revolutionize the way we see games in pixel art. The game combines retro aesthetics with modern graphics, creating a unique fantasy environment in pixel art with high-definition 2D textures. This innovative approach is not limited only to the typical nostalgic visual of 8/16-bit games, but elevates the concept to a new level, offering a visual experience that blends classic charm with contemporary technology. The game uses a 3D rendering technique that maintains the essence of pixelated graphics, but with a depth and detail that transcends the traditional limitations of this artistic style. The game world is full of surprises, challenging monsters, and relentless bosses, all created with this hybrid visual style that promises to be visually stunning. The art direction represents a natural evolution of pixel art, where each texture, character, and environment has been carefully created to make the most of modern visual possibilities without losing the retro identity. The developers have managed to create a graphic system that allows exploring procedurally generated worlds with a visual richness, where each discovered area reveals new details and artistic nuances that are only possible with this innovative approach to pixel art in high definition. Dracantos is a Brazilian MMORPG that is attracting the attention of the gaming community for bringing a nostalgic proposal with beautifully detailed pixel art graphics. Developed by the Winjin studio, the game combines classic elements of 2D RPGs with a modern and dynamic touch. Its setting is inspired by medieval fantasy worlds full of magic, monsters, and vibrant cities, all hand-drawn in pixel art with an aesthetic that resembles the classics of the 16-bit era, but with much more polished animations and effects. The great visual highlight of Dracantos is precisely the artistic care of the pixel art. The characters are very expressive, each class and enemy has a clear visual identity, and the scenarios are extremely rich in detail. It is possible to notice different textures in the forests, castles, caves, and villages, all with intelligent use of vibrant color palettes. The game does not try to simulate realism, but impresses with the beauty and care in each pixel. A true delight for those who love retro games, but seek something with modern visual quality. In addition, the effects of magic, lighting, and weather also raise the level of the game's art. Even being 2D, Dracantos creates a good sense of depth with the use of real-time light variations. During battles, spells shine with well-animated particles and impacts have visual weight. The maps are alive with NPCs, moving monsters, and small details such as waving flags or crackling bonfires. All this contributes to an immersive visual experience, even within the pixelated aesthetic.
Words can hurt too. Do that. How about this one? Words can hurt too.
Wait for it.
Are you mad?
Ready to make some music?
Ball X Pit is a frantic action roguelite set in a post-apocalyptic scenario where the city of Balbalon was destroyed, leaving only a mysterious abyss. The player takes on the role of a treasure hunter who descends into this bottomless pit, full of monsters in search of fortune and glory. The central premise revolves around using magic balls to defeat hordes of enemies, collect riches, and rebuild a new Balbalon. The visual highlight of Ball X Pit lies in its pixel art graphics, which give the game a charming and nostalgic retro style. This pixelated aesthetic, although simple, is rich in detail and manages to convey the dark and challenging atmosphere of the scenario. The combination of colors and the design of the characters and enemies contribute to the unique visual identity of the game. The gameplay is frantic, requiring quick reflexes and strategy to overcome the challenges. In addition to exploration and intense combat, the game also incorporates base-building elements. The resources collected during incursions into the Abyss are used to expand the new Balbalon, building more than 70 unique buildings. Each construction offers bonuses, unlocking new powers, characters, and other improvements. Managing resources and expanding the city is crucial for progress in the game, adding a strategic layer to the experience. Everwind is an open-world survival RPG with pixel art visuals that brings a nostalgic atmosphere, but full of modern details. Instead of traditional polygonal graphics, the game adopts the pixelated aesthetic with stylized textures, vibrant scenarios, and beautiful animations that stand out especially in the floating environments and in the fantastic architecture that makes up the scenarios on aerial islands. The visual charm of Everwind lies in the combination of sharp pixels with climatic lighting effects, fogs, color changes in the skies, and day and night transitions enrich each scenario. This gives depth to the biomes, swamp, savanna, deciduous forest, creating aesthetic diversity and visual immersion. In the gameplay, its modular flying ship is central, and the pixels help to give visual cohesion when assembling a customized aerial fortress with engines, balloons, fuel, and water compartments. The structures are visible in pixelated blocks that fit together elegantly, and the modular design is complemented by decoration, furniture, and lighting that maintain the pixel art style consistent with the sandbox and survival gameplay.
But I don't need to see, so just tell me where to go. Even though all my light has been fading, and I won't need to be there to face the unknown. But tonight I've been blinded by the dark. Without fear, I will reach for
Whisper of the House embraces a 2D pixel art with isometric perspective, combining retro simplicity with a wealth of modern details. Each room and item is drawn with soft colors and delicate strokes, creating a welcoming and comforting world. The aesthetic is reminiscent of indie titles like Unpacking, offering a charming atmosphere that conveys tranquility and enchantment. The objects in the environment are not merely decorative. Many items have small animations and reactions, such as squeezing a rubber duck, pulling a handkerchief from a box, or poking a sleeping cat, which adds depth and personality to the pixel art. These subtle effects reinforce the feeling of a living world, where each pixel hides a visual or narrative surprise. Even in the pixel art style, the game manages to communicate hidden stories and secrets through the scenarios and objects. Houses contain secret doors or areas that reveal curious plots, such as an underground laboratory linked to the past of the residents, and the minimalist but expressive visual contributes to the mystery. The visual design of Whisper of the House supports the organization and decoration experience. You manipulate pixelated items, move furniture with precise clicks, and plan the distribution of space intuitively. This coherence between style and mechanics makes the visual an essential part of the creative and relaxing gameplay. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive new videos. Stay with God and see you next time.